It's big dog season, and you can't stay still because you want it. Mm-hmm. Talk that talk, George. You still scraping your plate because you're hungry. Mm-hmm. Talk that talk.
Good morning. Today is Friday, January 24th. The year is 2025. So, Dr. Martin Luther King was killed on April 4th, 1968. I was born April 9th, 1970. So almost 2 years later after Dr. King's death. I was born, I'm 55 years of age. I'll be 55 within a few weeks. So, he's been dead for 57 years, going on 57 years, almost 60 years. If my math is correct, rounded up to 60. Donald Trump has decided to release all the documents from JFK's death, Martin Luther King's death, Robert F. Kennedy death. This to appease a lot of people. Think there's a lot of conspiracy theories about who did what and who was responsible for this man's death. And I guess by releasing these files that were once redacted or kept secret, that we have Americans and the people living here in 2025 are going to glean some important information from these documents. So I was on the internet and I saw people, he's a great president, he's doing all this great stuff, he's doing, okay, child, please. I'm not exactly sure something that happened more than 57 years ago, or 57 years ago, almost 57 years ago, almost 60 years ago, and what took place during that time is going to have any impact on us today. I mean, this man is clearly, something's awfully wrong when he has removed protections that were put in place since the 60s during the civil rights movement for job employers to hire to promote diversity that was put in place back in the 60s. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but he did an executive order removing another executive order from I think it was Edgar, I forget who did it. But it was during the civil rights movement, they were trying to promote employers having a diverse workplace with minorities and women being allowed hired for certain jobs. Without this type of diversity, laws that were put in place, we can't sit here and fool ourselves and think that anything Donald Trump is doing is going to help minorities. He seems to be like he's on this mission to try to pretend. And when he releases the Martin Luther King papers, I'm trying to prove a point. I'd love to know what that point was. But at the same time, you say racism doesn't exist. But then you look back at his death, and I'm confused. And I think it's great that he did release those papers. I don't think there's anything that we're going to gain from it, though. I don't think there's anything to gain from any of those documents being released. Not for us in 2025. That happened 60 years ago. Almost 60 years ago. I wasn't even born when he was shot and killed. I wasn't even born when any of those people were murdered. But I think that the people who support Donald Trump, they buy into a lot of conspiracy theories. And in their heads and minds, there's a lot of stuff done in the mysterious dark world of America. Because every time I've spoken to someone who is a Trump supporter, they believe some stuff that I just kind of sit back and say, what? It's like, okay, is something wrong with these folks? Now, Donald Trump releasing all those prisoners and pardoning all these people from this January 6th thing, and that should be very concerning to everyone. But Donald Trump said he was going to do that when he was running for office. He said, I'm going to do this. And the voters, the people who voted for him, obviously, made a decision that that's what they wanted him to do. I preferred that he do. I don't know. Weird. So Donald Trump sets out to destroy protections that were put in place to guarantee to help blacks acquire jobs that were put in blacks and women, might I add, and all minorities. For some reason, he seems to think that these types of DEI or whatever you want to call it is just not something that is needed anymore, or in his head probably was never needed at all. Okay. But again, this is what these people voted for. They voted for a man. I think the only people who are going to benefit from Donald Trump being in that White House are going to be wealthy white men. I don't think anybody else is going to benefit from anything else he does. And I don't think he's going to be able, I don't even think he has the mental capacity to change any of the issues that are impacting our lives here in 2025. I don't see it. He's so focused on some of the most craziest stuff I've ever seen. But again, this is what his voters voted for. They voted for craziness. They voted for insanity. They voted for crazy stuff. They voted for, and I don't think we're going to see any significant changes in the economy. I think it's going to get worse. This whole thing chasing these immigrants around going to divide in the country and possibly create some economic uncertainty. I just don't see, the only people who are going to benefit from this is wealthy white men. That's the only thing I can see. I'm just so confused. I'm not confused, truthfully, y'all, because I know this man is stupid as hell. And I know the people who voted for him are just stupid. So I don't expect to see anything it's not going to make sense or be logical to help any of us in this. He has yet signed one document or gave one executive order that helps anybody in 2025 except for those people he set free on January 6th. They get to walk free. They're probably glad they can go back to whatever they were doing before. I mean, you think about some guys said decades in prison. The sentence to decades in prison, 22 years, 18 years, 10 years. They're walking free now to go out and cause more mayhem and confusion. But that's what his voters voted for. They voted for this chaos. They voted for this confusion. They voted for this madness. And we all have to live through this mess in the next 4 years because he's just getting started. Where's the tangible stuff that helps people in 2025? Where is it? Where is it? We're never going to see it. Really, he can't do nothing, anything. He can't do nothing about interest rates. He can't do nothing about grocery prices. He can't do nothing to help stimulate the economy. He could do some things to stimulate the economy, but he's too busy running around doing executive order, taking Secret Service away from people he don't like. That man got some very devious thoughts in his head. And the people surrounding him, you just have to wonder, okay, well, but we were warned about this before. about his crazy behavior. So now we just gotta live through it, I guess. I don't know. And if any of y'all think that him releasing these papers on Dr. Martin Luther King's death, who died almost 60 years ago, to improve our lives in 2025, please explain it to me. That happened almost 60 years ago. All them people damn near dead that were involved in that scenario. What do we have to gain from that? I read a few comments on the internet. I was laying in bed reading some comments last night. I just turned my phone off, went to sleep, and was like, why I'll go down this rabbit hole with these fools? I don't see how there's anything to gain. I mean, I don't particularly care one way or another about him releasing the papers. I just don't think there's nothing significant for any of us to gain this. It's 2025. Go ahead, release it. I don't care, but no big deal. Oh, he's doing something great. What? That shit older than Methuselah. Who cares? That shit old. We got other issues to deal with. I'd rather tackle issues that are impacting our lives right now today. Not then, because see, in his head, this is not making sense, because remember now he's releasing this stuff about Dr. Martin Luther King and Robert F. Kennedy and John F. Kennedy and all this stuff. At the same time, you're saying that racism don't exist. As you strip away all the protections that help blacks to gain a footing in middle-class America. That helped my father get a job at U.S. Steel Mill. That helped so many blacks get into corporate America. Now you're ripping it all away. Now, I could be wrong. I know blacks have come a long way, but I don't think we've done away with a lot of racist behavior in this country. Over the past few years, prime example, with these houses, people trying to get their homes appraised, and how these appraisers struck down the value of black-owned houses. I had that problem here at this house. When I was appraising this house over the past years, working on stuff over here, when I was here, the appraisers whacked this house $300,000-$400,000 worth value low. When I was gone and somebody else was sitting here, the value was high as hell. I'm like, okay, nigga there, value low. White folks there, value high. That happened just in 2024. We got the appraisal back. I said, why is this appraisal so low? So the girl, she said, oh, okay, we got to order another appraisal because this ain't going to work. We scheduled another appraiser to come out. It took me 6 months to refinance this house. I was trying to get a lower interest rate. 6 months because of that, going back and forth with these appraisals on this damn house. So I finally get the shit done. I just want to sell this out to get the hell out of here, so. However, Trump and his followers and the people who voted for him, they voted for this chaos and confusion. That's what they wanted. And that's what we're going to get. We're not going to see the economy improve. We're not going to see the economy stimulated in any way. This man's focus is not on us and trying to improve economics in this country. I don't see it. All the stuff he did in the past few days is indicative of what we're going to see over the next few years. Chaos and confusion, insanity, stuff that doesn't make any sense, that will have no impact on our lives in this day and age, in 2025. I don't give a fuck about what took place back in the 60s. I wasn't even born then. Other than a history lesson. that he, at the same time, says doesn't exist. I mean, he's pointing back at Dr. Martin Luther King and saying, oh, he was killed. Let's see what this was all about. But at the same time, in this day and age, he said, oh, we don't have racist issues here in this country no more. We don't need all this stuff. It's interesting because I'm up there at the hospital with Earl every day. I see a sprinkling of black people here in Atlanta. A sprinkling of black doctors, one here, one there. A sprinkling of black nurses, one here, one there. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, it's almost like I'm in this hospital in Atlanta. I'm like, well, where are the black people at? Where are they? I mean, I guess I probably would see more black people if I was down at Grady Hospital or maybe some other hospital or something. I don't know. I haven't been to Grady Hospital but it's been years. I think I probably see more black doctors and nurses there, possibly, than over here at Emory University. A little sprinkling of black people. I find like it's kind of odd because Atlanta is such a large black city. Where are these black folks at? Where are they? You would think you'd see more black people working there, other than in the kitchen and mopping the floor. Plenty of them doing that. But in the doctors and nurses, not a lot. At least what I've seen thus far is predominantly white folks over there. It's like going through a time warp when you get there. And I think the hospital's an excellent hospital, from, best I could tell. But I find it just odd. Where are the black people? Other than patients, janitors, valet people back parking the cars. Something's kind of weird about that. This Atlanta, Georgia, you would think you walk into a hospital, you'd see a lot more black employees, nurses, doctors, techs. It's just odd. Love to know who does the hiring over there. And there's some blacks there, a sprinkling. Getting them donuts, they have little sprinkles on it. There's a sprinkling of black people over there. We have a long way to go in this country. Continue to fight and continue to fight for black people in this country. It's a battle that it will never end. I'll be dead and gone, and black people will still be fighting in this country to gain a footing, because we losing ground under Trump. That's what I never understood about all these black folks who vote for Trump. I'm like, what are they not? I was so confused. So confused why these black folks are voting for this crazy man. I didn't get it. And I have so many people I personally know who support Trump. I'm just thinking, what are y'all hoping to gain from this? Nothing? I mean, I'm just confused. But we're only a few days in, so let's just see what happens. We still got a ways to go, 4 years of madness. Anyway, I'm about to, I gotta get up to this hospital. It's Friday. There's nothing going on real today, so there's no need for me to rush up there to, I got all the information. I'm very aware of what's going on with him right now. Nothing has changed over the past few days, other than it's the same. He's just stable. He's getting better. It's a walk. It's going to take some time. I mean, I'm going to get there, but probably I have to go to physical therapy today. I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for that. I don't think people understand. I've been in the gym working out for years, and I love working out, but going to this physical therapy, I'm like, man, this shit is painful, it's exhausting. It's not something that It's not like going to the gym to work out and stuff. It's painful. My shoulder is getting better. I just got to keep pushing ahead. It's only been a couple of months. I was going to go back to the gym this week, start back in the gym. Unfortunately, the snowstorm and all that stuff kind of threw a monkey wrench onto that plan. So I was hoping to get back into the gym and work out this week before I had this physical therapy today, but that didn't happen. So, one morning I got up and got dressed and said, I'm going to go to the gym now. But it was ice and snow and the gym was closed. And I knew I wasn't going to make it over there any that way. I said, it's just a process. I'll be back. I'll be fine. I just got to get back into the gym, which I hope to do. Maybe over this weekend. I got a little bit more time on my hand this weekend. Now that Earl's getting better and he can talk and communicate. There's still some issues there. Still a few issues. A lot. But, hey, it's a journey. It's just gotta take it one day at a time to the end. That's what that's all I can do right now. I can't foresee the future. I just have to take it one day, 24 hours at a time. And that's what I'm doing. It's the best way I can get through this. And with that said, today it is Friday, January 24th. The year is 2025. I would love to hear you all's thoughts about Donald Trump releasing all these private classified documents from the 60s. And what impact is that going to have on our lives today in 2025? I'm so confused. How's it going? I mean, good release. It doesn't bother me that he's releasing it. I think it's a good idea to go just let it out there, but I just think it's just focus. Shouldn't we be focused on things that help people today? And that's the thing that concerns me with this president. He's all over the place, but he's not on any of the right stuff. He's not focused on the things that we need to be focused on in 2025, in my opinion. But we'll see. Anyway, I'm out. Let me make me some breakfast and get my day started. I'll speak to y'all later. Don't take these doggies out. I'll speak to y'all later. Bye.